Press button. Press button.
Press button.
Whoa.
Wow.
That sounded like you were angry with something.
Angry? No, I'm not angry.
Oh, were you just doing a good expression?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, shall we put the camera on?
Yes.
Let's see if I remember how to do it.
See, remember how to do. Am I allowed to still talk?
Yeah. There we are, look.
Yep.
Pew. Okay. A 3-person stream. We have me, we have Annabelle,
Yay!
and you can't see it, but we also have Evie Dog.
Yes.
Okay, so we're playing Chasm, and we're how far in? Let's find out if it'll tell us. We are 52% in, 52.6% in fact. Again, if you like what you're seeing, if you enjoy seeing the what we've got, the layout of our particular. Hang on, just need to press it. Wow. Let's turn that down. Yeah. There we go. Right. The layout of our playthrough of Chasm, you can get the seed there is 4E10B20D by the looks of it. So you can get our layout. So that's the only profile we've got at the moment. So we're not going to start a new game. We've been playing for 5 hours. That's a long time. Right.
That is a very long time to play.
It's going to load up our world. And here it is. We have a little familiar, little bird, which we've called Brian. I don't know if the game gives him an actual name. I've just realised that where I've placed my my head is covering up our weapons. So we might actually just go ahead and leap into the settings to move. I don't know where's a good place for it actually. I'll just leave it there.
I'm actually going to the mines.
Yeah, we're going to go down, head into the mines now. Now, you're going to see, obviously, no major story spoilers up to this point, but you are going to see some layout spoilers as we take you through the game. But as I said, the layout is procedurally generated, so your layout, unless you put in the seed at the start, the layout of your maps will be completely different to mine anyway. So let's just jump into the mines here. If we tap R1, we can bring up the mines map, so that's what we've explored here. That is the layout that we've got. There's still areas in this that we've not been able to access. Most of them we have, but you can see that I've put a little reminder there because we can't get up there yet. We're assuming that we'll unlock something later on that will allow us to do that, but we haven't done yet. We can jump through. This is the next area we explored, which is the catacombs. The gardens is what we're currently exploring, I think. And then there's the keep, which we can't really make much ground on whatsoever. So, I think, was it the garden? We were looking through the gardens, weren't we? And we have been able to unlock a area to the north. We're going to go and have a look at that today. We've got some water running, and it's filled up an area which has allowed us to pass. So we're going to go and have a look at that now. You know what? Something else has just occurred to me as well, but I'm not going to think of that one out loud. Right. So here we have these rooms. This is kind of shortcuts. Now, none of this is unlocked when you first start the game, but you can kind of use these tunnels to cut through to different parts of the map, and you can also switch which area you're in by using this door in the middle here. So that's the mines.
It's just like a portal.
That's right. The portal. This will take us to the catacombs, and then this will. That's in the gardens. That's where we want to be. And then from here. We want to go to the top door because we want to go to the shortcut that's at the highest point of our map so far. So you'll see when we go through here, it will show us on the map where we are, and that little blinking bit in the middle, that's where we are. We're going to explore the upper left-hand corner there. The baddies at this point they're pretty hardcore. Some of them anyway. These guys are not too bad.
Those guys are easy peasy schmeezy.
They're easy peasy schmeezy. But also you can, I mean, you don't have to take out all the baddies. You can do, you get experience points for doing so, which means you can strengthen your character. So if we go in and have a look at experience, you can see there, experience, I've got nearly 9,000 experience. I'll go up to my next level with 487 more experience. And that'll improve my hit points, my magic points, may improve my attack, defense. I've got 2 attack things because I've got 2 different weapons, primary attack and secondary attack. And here we go. So when we first got here, none of this water was running. And what I have realised, what I was thinking about out loud before, is there was a path through down there, you can sort of see, which I never actually explored because I didn't come in here when the water wasn't running. So I'm curious if we go back to where the water was running, can I stop that and can I access an area, the lower area on the map that I haven't been to yet, or have I missed that because I've set the water running already? Who knows, we'll find out later on.
Monster! Oh! Come on.
Bees, so far we found the best way seems to be to jump over them. Some it's better to dodge, sometimes it's better to dodge and jump
Oh
over.
my, that's a
This
big...
one's very unfriendly, he shoots things at us. And he also does that.
First does that and then...
Yeah, so you have to be quite cautious.
Oh my, the same monster from last time.
That one's a dodge and a jump, but sometimes you'll get it wrong.
Level up.
Yeah, we've still not worked out how do we. Did we ever work out how the? So if we go to the equipment and go to the bird hat, will it tell us? There you go, he's level 11. Now what that means, I've got no idea. I guess it just does more damage and stuff, but who knows. Right, so we're exploring this away. Oh, I hate these guys.
Why do they shoot fire?
I'm gonna be dead soon now. Again. This is where I kept dying yesterday because yeah, sometimes your little bird's really helpful, and other times he's really annoying. He just sort of gets in the way.
You need
I
to
think this is
really
where I
do
died before. Ah, yeah, that keeps happening to some extent. I just need to get better at taking the enemies on.
Okay, you're going to a safe point. A safe point.
Yeah.
A very far away.
Yeah, a very far away save point. It's okay though, because of the shortcuts we can get back there quite quickly now.
Yep.
We don't have to travel the whole way through the map again.
Yep.
But yeah, so far, I think some of the complaints about the game are legitimate, particularly in for me in the gardens on this seed. You can see there's a lot of long corridors that not a lot has really. I mean, lots of enemies in, it's fine, but it's not been the most interesting way to move around. But if you contrast that with the mines, there's there's some corridors there, but there's lots of ups and downs off them. Catacombs are all over the shop. It's great level. The gardens hasn't been as good yet, but you know, I guess that the seed, not every seed's going to be perfect. Someone was saying, you know, like, oh, what's the? I was on one of the AMAs with the designers asking what's the best seed, you know, is there a quality one to use, and they were like, oh well, they're all fun in their own way, and I mean that's what I'm seeing. Like for me, some of it's been great fun. Catacombs and the mine were great. It's only the garden certain aspects of the garden because it's been quite dull, just long, drawn-out pathways. But then there are these little interesting areas kind of sandwiched in there as well. So it's not all, I don't want to say it's all doom and gloom, it's not all bad. There we go. That's my secondary weapon, which currently isn't really up to much. Yeah, I get hit far too easily. I should probably try and look to boost my armour because I'm still using some of the earlier stuff in the game, but I just haven't done yet. See what I mean? It's when your little pigeon friend hits it. And again, I'm dead. Ooh, new weapon. A warhammer. I've used that before. Let's get that on. It's still worse than what I've already got, so let's not bother with that one. I am going to see if I've got anything in my... Ooh, I've got some salmon. 2 bits of salmon in my inventory. That'll boost my health back up. Let's see what we've got. Another one of these guys. I'm throwing 2 knives there because I've upgraded that particular secondary weapon, which is just making life a bit easier for me. Yay! When you level up, you get all your health back, so it's a good thing. Okay, new area. We're going to go across first, just because we're always on the hunt for another save room or shortcut, which this doesn't appear to be. Oh no! Fallen in the water.
In the
I've done it again.
water.
Let's see what we've got in here first. Oh, something. Feel open to learning, so my intelligence or something's improved anyway. Still don't really know what the advantage of that is, but it happens periodically. Not going to go there yet. So first, I want to see what is up. Right, in which case let's head down. Bounce back up. Something that way as well, so we're going to investigate that. sand. I feel protected. Okay. Just gonna kill this a bit.
It's getting a bit bright.
It's getting a bit bright, but it's also getting a bit warm for me and for the dog.
But it's not getting warm for me.
You okay, are you?
Yep.
Right, we'll try up again.
I'm trying to go up without getting hurt. Okay. Good. I thought you were gonna. Oh my.
Still another big long corridor. Oh, looks like there's a baddie up there, which means hopefully this is the save room. It is. Right. So yeah, we've got some kind of demon up ahead. Should we go and try and take it on now? Should we try and get a couple more
Light bulbs.
let's see what we've got. Oh,
What?
giant flying head by the looks of it. Whoa. Ow. Oh! It killed me. We'll try that again.
Yep.
Don't really know what the best weapon would be for that one, actually.
Yes.
Well, maybe try that again. Doing. Oh, goodness me. Did not go well, did it? Don't think I even lasted as long as I did last the first time.
I think you need to do more flossing.
Good idea. I'll try that this time.
Or how about if you do this? Na 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 na. You can't catch me. Try and catch me if you can.
I need the best thing to do? Shurikens, not axes.
Magic axe.
That's probably the best. If I can get them hitting with the magic knives, that's probably the best because I've got two. It'll throw two of them, but it's whether I can actually get him.
Where's the flying head?
Here it comes. Oh dear. Oh goodness me.
It's a flying head, everybody.
Right. What have I got? Oh, I've got a potion. Have my potion. Oh goodness me. I suck.
You just like you suck, you suck.
You can't do it.
Inky Pinky. Hey, Daddy. Hey, I just said.
Tell you what, if I switch to the try the Warhammer, I suppose.
Whoa.
That seems even slower though. Let's try the Falcon. That's at least quick.
Let's try something that is quick. Okay, so the bad guys go for the losers. Okay, so the bad ones for you go to the enemies, but for the really, really lucky ones that you find, they go to you.
Oh goodness me.
That's a flying head, everyone.
I'm dead already? And even worse! I just can't seem to work out how to dodge.
Dodge,
Effectively.
dodge,
Dodge, dodge, dodge. That's right.
okay, that means you like dodging.
Oh my god, I suck.
Suck, suck. You said you suck. Suck.
Maybe I should actually go into it a little bit better prepared. So before, now I know where the baddie is. Like, I'm not even going in with full magic, which is just a bit silly. Handle it.
You need more magic sword.
Yes.
Yes. Is this final answer?
Ooh. Okay, so we found the new dude. And a learning scroll. Let's learn some stuff. Ooh. I found Cade.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh. Where was she or is it a she or a he?
It's a he, I think.
Is it really like a he? Or is it really more like a he?
Oh no! Now I haven't found Cade because I died.
Now you're as flat as a pan.
I am flat as a pancake.
Pan.
Flat as a pan. Yes, I'm flat as a pan. Right, so I guess I'll go and find Cade again.
Where was he? Where was he?
It was just in one of the places I've not been to yet. But yeah, so this particular area, because it's just straight and narrow and there's not really much you can do about it, does become a bit frustrating at times. Just because it's not very interesting, I suppose. Which, when the rest of the game has been, or the first two areas I played really were, it is a bit disappointing. if I'm honest. Right, so up and then down. But like I said before, it's a case of, the next seeded world that I experience could be the complete opposite. It could be that the garden area is miraculous and the other areas are maybe not as much fun, or ideally, hopefully, we get to the point where all the areas are mostly fun. I don't know if I just came across a particularly disappointing garden this time. I mean, it's not terrible, it's just not as good as the others have been. Curious like that, eh?
It is Aki.
Yeah, he's a hunter.
I might go to the toilet again.
Let's see what I get this time rather than intelligence, or do I get that again? I do. Seem that random? Maybe it isn't. Oh my god. Right, hopefully I can at the very least get back to... No, I can't, because I'm gonna die. I should have just climbed up out of the way. Never mind. So yeah, when you've got a balance of enemies that are... I mean, you're sort of limited by what you can do with the combat. I haven't found it a huge problem, but I know some people are not overly keen on that either. Just that it's a bit simplistic, I suppose, but that's fine. But I do understand some of the frustrations. But mostly when I die, I feel that it's because it was my fault. Like, I've rushed the combat. Everything's actually reasonably easy to avoid, as long as you take the time to do it. And when I come unstuck, it tends to be because I haven't done. Like, I know how to take out the waspy things, but if you... apart from when your stupid familiar freezes it, but... But if you rush it, it's easy for something to go wrong. The jumping mechanics are they're quite specific, but not overly difficult. Like, it's quite well balanced, I think. Anyway, again, if you don't make the jump, it's usually because it's your fault. But the jumping mechanic I find is actually quite precise. I like it. One thing I do, and this is probably just me being very, very finicky, is the speed at which you unlock new things. I mean, I'm 50% of the way in, and so far I've unlocked the shin guards, which allow me to slide, that's helped me access a couple of new areas, and I can cling on to the side of stuff, which I couldn't. Ooh, it did look that time. It is random, which I couldn't do before, which allows a greater access to some things. Here, I don't really know what to do. I don't know if I can. It's all going horribly wrong again. But again, that was me not really playing to what I knew the strengths of that particular character were. Kind of trying to rush it again. But yeah, it's not that rewarding, the exploration. Like, when it's just sort of straight line corridors, you don't feel like you're really exploring. You're just being funneled down a corridor, and there's a lot of that here. And I know that it's kind of luck of the draw, but it's not fun. And it doesn't take much for it to be more fun, because the other areas, stupid thing, were more fun than this. But then even when you do, you traipse down this corridor for ages, there's not a real solid sense of achievement for what you find. I don't know, it's not as well put together as something like Castlevania, because in Castlevania one of the first things you unlock is, oh my goodness, is improvements to the movement, and you just feel like you're a bit more in control of things. Whereas this, I think, just gets a bit frustrating. I'm not doing that well because I'm frustrated, because I want to do the same thing 6 or 7 times, and how quickly the enemies regenerate means that from here I'm going to go straight back into that same room as before with this guy. And I just find I can't be bothered with any of it. And that's not a good way to feel about the game. You have to repeat these sections. If you make small mistakes, quickly add up. So you do sometimes feel a little bit like you're running from save room to save room. I mean, I've got to get all the way back through there just to get to the save because of unlocking the character, and it's just not as well put together, because there's a lot of awkward sort of climbing and awkward enemy sections, but they're just annoying. Whereas on your Castlevania, it just, yeah, you're trying to get from save room to save room, but you feel like you've kind of done a bit more. You've earned it, or you've earned something for your exploration. Same on Axiom Verge, which I was playing most recently. The exploration feels rewarding, and it's just not the same on this. It's not the same kind of feel of reward at all. Like, what you're unlocking doesn't make that much of it. It was just like, alright, there was a low hanging wall before, and now there's not, but sorry, there's a low hanging wall that you couldn't get through. Now you can slide under it with the slide ability, but it doesn't have another use other than that. It's just like, well, alright, so the thing that you put in my way was only there really to block my path to a couple of little secret areas, which is grand. But then when that's the other slide, that's all it's given me the ability to do. It's not like an added bonus of the slide. Like, I can't use the slide. You can use it in combat, but it's not very effective. I sound like I'm coming down quite hard on the game. I actually have really enjoyed playing it so far, but there are just a couple of little irritations. Main one being I'm not very good at it. And some things are just like, that's really just hard to avoid, and I just don't understand what. I just don't really get what I'm doing wrong there, but I just seem to be getting absolutely smashed by it. But what's frustrating for me, I suppose, is how good the first two, like, I forgot to back to the map, sorry. So you get the introduction of Carthage, then you're into the mines, and the mines were incredibly good fun. You know, yeah, they're a little annoying low wall thing. I'll get something that'll help me do that, which I did. And you can slide under the walls, and you can access a couple more areas. But it was good fun. And the catacombs as well, same idea. So have a look at the bottom. They got loads of these little interconnected rooms. Shortcuts were well mapped out. They felt structured. It felt good. And then I got into the gardens, and it's just long corridor after long corridor, and it's been really just uninspiring and not fun to play at all. The keep, which there's only a small amount of it we can access so far, that looks interesting. That's a very Castlevania looking area, which I like. But very quickly you get to the point of like, alright, I can't actually access these areas yet. I must need something else. I'm hoping that whenever I get around to killing this the baddie here, that then I can, in this area, that then I you know, I can move on from it. But I really will not miss the gardens whatsoever. They have not been fun to play. I don't know if I unlocked all the shortcuts. I think I might have done. I might have already unlocked all the shortcuts. That's it. There's 3 shortcuts, all fairly central, and you've really got to spread out before you get back. So I might head across and down and see if I can get into that. Well, it's not even a shortcut, is it? It'll take me out to somewhere else. The mines, or back into the catacombs or something. So I'm going to go have a look at that anyway. Just something different to do. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with that beast just yet. See if I can upgrade myself a little bit first. I'll bother with you. But yeah, just long corridor after long corridor just does get a bit dull. So you end up just sort of skipping past a lot of the enemies. Straight across here. And down here. Ah, in fact I can't even get down there. I've got to go right. Oh my goodness. So the path back is just enormous. So I might as well actually just go and explore, see what there is along here. Oh, marvellous. But at this point, I mean, it has, if I'm totally honest, it's stopped being fun, which is a real shame because the start of the game was awesome. Those first 2 sections were great. And I guess feeling like, that was just me not pressing the jump button. I feel the particular frustration because it's purely from the procedural generation. It's like if the gardens, if the random structure of the gardens for me had come out better, I'd be having more fun than I am right now. So that you know, it's hard to escape the feeling like it's just pure chance that my garden section has sucked, but it didn't have to. It's not a prerequisite that the garden section was going to suck. It just so happens that on my game it's not been much fun. Good Lord! But yeah, they say when the fun stops, stop, and for now I think, to be quite honest, I mean, yeah, I'm not playing it well, but it is really punishing that poor play, but for not much reward. Yeah, and that's just disappointing, to be quite honest, because I have, as I say, I'm 50% in, and I would say up until the gardens I've really enjoyed it. It's been one of my favourite games of the year, but at this point the reward is being completely outstripped by the uninspiring procedurally generated level design and the sort of finicky combat that though it improves as you level up and you can access different weapons, it's not fun. And Castlevania, Axiom Verge, Metroid, the combat in those, you expand your arsenal, you get different, better weapons quicker, and it's fun. It's more fun to play than Chasm, which is a horrible thing to be saying actually, because Chasm is a game I've waited for 6 years, and for the first, let's call it first, not quite half, first nearly half actually, more than a third, 40%. So, it's been right up there with the Metroidvania game, and then it's just this totally uninspiring garden level with long stretches of uninspiring, dull hallway with very little of interest to collect at the end of it. And it just leaves you thinking, well, what's the point? So it sort of dropped it. The game sort of started out in this sort of 8 or 9 out of 10 category for me, like Axiom Verge. It's not Axiom Verge, I'd give it a straight 9. I thought it was amazing. But this is just, I mean, maybe the keep picks up, maybe, but yeah, I mean, I'm not getting enough reward at all for what I'm suffering through at the moment. The enemies, the bosses, that one in particular I was just fighting there, didn't feel like it was a well-designed attack pattern I needed to learn. It just felt a bit cheap. You know, it's going to do this, then it's going to do that, and then it's just going to... And it's like, well, alright, but I've managed all the others, learning their attack patterns and maneuvering around, and I feel like I know what I need to do, but the character doesn't move like I need him to, or something, I don't know. But like I say, it's just the garden section. It's the first time I felt that. But the fact that it's extended to the boss as well is frustrating. I'm just going to hit that boss one more time. See if there's something that I'm missing. Some bit I can jump out of the way, or... I don't know. But it's an irritation at the moment. No, there's nothing. I was thinking, is there platforms or something, but there's not. There's just the stuff you can fall into at the side. So I can avoid that. That one's difficult to avoid. That's easy to avoid. These are the ones I don't get. It just feels like one of them's just going to land on me. That's not too bad. That's just from sideways. Get a hit in here and there. I'll take the potion. You're actually better off getting hit by the eyes because it takes so little off. By the hand, it takes so little off. It's this that I don't get. Like, how am I? Like, sometimes I've got to stand still. But yeah, it's not. That just for the boss just feels a bit cheap compared to the other ones I've come across. Yes.
The bad thing is to keep trying.
You think? Because right now I feel like just giving up for now. Maybe never give up. Yep. The problem is it's not fun anymore. When it was fun, I don't mind trying and trying. There were some of the other bosses where I felt like I was trying and I was getting killed, but I was getting a bit better each time, and eventually I beat it. But this one just feels... Now, I'll tell you what the problem is. I know I probably need to go and get some stronger weapons or some stronger armor and, you know, better things. But in order to do that, I've got to backtrack so much through this boring level that it just feels a bit like I can't be bothered.
Oh.
the way it's been made, I've got to go back so far to get. It's not fun. Travelling through this area isn't fun. Whereas in the catacombs and the mines, travelling back through the area was fun. I enjoyed it.
But the gardens.
The gardens isn't fun.
Or maybe the game's trying to trick you.
Maybe the game's trying to trick me. It could be. I'm almost tempted to start again. It's that bad. It's that frustrating. That I'm tempted to just think, well, I'll play the mines and I'll play the catacombs again, just in the hope of getting a better garden. Because it's so uninspiring that it's actually ruining the game for me. Which is a shame because I was really enjoying it before then. Oh, he can just stand on that. That seems totally fair.
The enemies are just getting more up.
Yeah, I am actually. I'll do it. I'll start with a new save, but I'm gonna actually start the whole game again because the gardens is so uninspiring and boring.
Yeah.
What should I call it this time?
I don't know.
What do you know?
What do you need to have inside 6 letters?
Yeah. I maybe more than that actually. I am going to call him Trace, after Axiom Verge.
Trace.
Yeah.
Trace after Axiom Verge.
Yeah.
I know. After that, if you start back to the gardens, starting the whole game again, is it fun? Is it fun starting the whole?
Well, I hope so, because the problem is I enjoyed so much of the game before then that it seems a real shame that the game's level design on the gardens is so dull that I've stopped enjoying the game. But I thought, well, the one advantage of this game is that because the levels are sort of made up as you go along.
And now you're back to 60.
Yeah, I know.
I was enjoying that having 100 health. Someone's scrubbing the floor.
I know.
You need to find a commander. I know. You know you need to find a commander. He looks very cool. Yes! You need to go and pick a weapon.
Yep.
Yep.
more inspiring level
Yes!
this time.
Yes. No, you just need to read. Apparently, you're here.
But nobody else is. The keys. Get into the mine now. Right. Which way should we try first? This way?
Yes. Is that how you started the game? Enemies. Oh, I like those enemies. All you have to do is take one hit. They are dead.
Yeah, they started off easy, didn't they?
Imagine if there was a type of enemy called allergic ones that started on a web. Then when you go under them, they go on you, and then you are going to be allergic to them.
That wouldn't be good, would it?
Yeah. And then it will give you a broken bone whenever it gives you. Ah, there's something buzzing.
Just a fly.
A buzzy fly.
Buzzy fly, that's right.
I don't like buzzy flies.
Yeah, they're a bit buzzy, aren't they?
Imagine if when you came on it and you hit it got killed.
This is different.
Devil!
Oh, remember this bit? It's very similar to before.
Imagine when you got to meet this troll. Now it's time for the 3-hit one. Oh!
Yeah.
Do you like the sound of the mines?
Yeah.
Do you remember the people who you needed to find?
These are the 3-hit ones, aren't they?
Yeah. They can go in the gospel. Oh, they are just 2 hits.
Oh, well done.
Daddy hooked an extra head. Hey, Daddy, this is weird.
What's that?
When you look on TV, it looks like the opposite way.
Isn't it? I don't know. Oh, bats. Bats.
You hate the bats. Bats. Whenever you see a bat, I'm gonna just say. Oh. They are only 2 hits.
Remember a room like this as well?
Well, it's nearly the big giant troll. Well, it's nearly the big giant troll.
I think you might be right.
After when you.
Yes. Beat that troll, beat that troll, beat that troll.
Huh? Wait. Where's Dinah?
It was Basden that time.
I think we just missed. I think it's missed her.
Yeah, probably. You know what we could do is we could go back up and save and then try the other way. See what there is. Basden never comes up, does he?
Basden.
Basden. Oh yeah, we don't have that yet. Yeah. I was going to go buy the knives, but we haven't found it yet.
Okay.
Is this always going to be a bit wet? Oh yeah.
Oh, they're only 2 hits.
Yeah, there used to be more.
a rock harvester. Hey Daddy, it's a rock harvester.
Nick.
Okay, so jumping definitely won't work. By the time you go.
Youth.
Aha!
See, now this one's lots of really long corridors, which it wasn't before.
Oh.
Weird, isn't it? Yeah, I think for me, the procedural generation sort of ruining it for me a little bit. So I'm going to stop.
Playing games?
I'm going to stop playing this game.
Oh, playing a different game now.
Yeah.
What are you going to play? What are you going to play?